We had to really cut back the blackberries so that we could replace this fence. Fence looks gorgeous, but the blackberries are really coming on strong again, you guys. If we just cut them back this fall to do this fence, yeah, it was in the winter. Yes. Hi, girls. Hi, Rocket. Hey, Rocket. You're letting the girls have it, aren't you, again? Look, he just sets it down, yeah, he just sets it down. That is so sweet. What a gentleman you are, Rocket. He's like, here girls, get it. Sometimes he just knocks it out for them. Knocks it out of my hand, but often he'll lay it down. That is so cool. What a gentleman you are. Okay. Yes. Just in case. Alright, you guys, I've got something important to talk to you about. If you're a chicken owner, particularly an urban chicken owner, you need to hear this. There's an enemy lurking in your chicken yard that can kill your chickens that you cannot even see. So let's dive into the microscopic world for a minute. So a bird's flying over your homestead, a wild bird, and it poops on your homestead, and it drops a capsulated capsule, and in that capsule is the parasite coccidiosis, and it just waits as a latent capsule until the conditions are just right. Maybe it's too cold, maybe it's too dry. It's gonna wait until that spring weather or that fall weather when it gets nice and moist and the temperatures are just really nice out, and then it's gonna burst open. I'm so glad this is microscopic, you guys, because this could come straight out of Alien movie if it wasn't, if it were big. So back down to the microscopic. It bursts open and your chickens are scratching around. They're eating bugs and stuff, and they ingest. Remember, it's microscopic. They ingest one of them, right? And then it begins to reproduce in their intestines because temperature's just right. Moisture just right. They reproduce and reproduce. Pretty soon your chicken starts to lose weight. You don't really notice because it's hard to notice that sort of thing, and they're not going to act sick, for goodness sakes, because the rest of the flock will take them out, or they'll lose their position in the pecking order. So they're going to try to act healthy as long as they can, right? So your chicken starts to lose weight. It starts to have diarrhea. You don't really notice that either, except one day you do see maybe a little mess on their bum, right? And then you begin to see your chicken kind of off by itself, not with the flock. And that you think, well, that's kind of weird. What's going on here? And that's your first indication that there's something wrong. And then the next day, your chicken has died. So we're talking about today coccidiosis on the homestead. I don't know, but I don't know for sure, but I don't think it's that much of a problem on a pasture raised situation where you're moving your chickens to fresh grass. But in an urban situation, we can't do that. We need to bring the greens to them, which I do a lot, but they're in this chicken yard and they use this chicken yard. It's been used for 10 years and coccidiosis is definitely on the chicken yard in that capsule, just waiting for the right temperatures. So the right temperatures were spring. Obviously, well, not obviously, but I have seen some signs that my flock is suffering from this. And if you buy the medicated chick feed, that's what they're medicating against, because you can see that if this parasite starts to reproduce in a little chick, you can see how fast that can go badly, and they can die because they're so little and they're just trying to put on fat for the first time. So let me show you some of the signs that I'm seeing that tell me I need to treat for coccidiosis. See if I can get behind some of these chickens. Okay. This brown one over here, it's really hard to get behind her, you guys, but she has a little bit of a messy bum. I don't know if you guys can see that. This one here has a little bit of mess on its bum. Chickens should have neat, fluffy little bums, right? And then we have this problem with Rocket and his comb still. It's just not healing very well. It's just not healing properly. And I've seen him kind of opening his mouth like he's having a respiratory problem. So those are some of the early signs I'm seeing that coccidiosis might be in the homestead and it might be infecting my chickens. So I don't have to wait till that first chicken starts isolating itself. Also, I wanted to tell you that it's kind of insidious because the chicken doesn't die of the parasite. The chicken actually dies because it gets leaky gut syndrome. It's not getting nutrition from its food anymore. It's eating and eating, and you're giving it great food, and it's not able to get nutrition from it. And then it might be susceptible to a respiratory virus, or it might be susceptible to something else, right? And then that's going to take it out of your flock. That's what's going to kill it. So the parasite weakens it terribly, doesn't give it any nutrition, and then it can't survive when something comes along, another bug. So that is coccidiosis. So easy to treat. Let me show you how. First, let me empty out their water, because that's what I'm going to put the medication in, and I want them only to be drinking out of this medicated water. The babies are about to go in the big flock, at least the hens, so I want to get the big flock really healthy so they'll have their best chance. Alright, I'm going to be using Corid, and this is a powder form. It's a 20% solution. So I'm going to be using a teaspoon in this gallon of water. They also make it in a liquid. I can't remember how much of the liquid to put in. I just keep the powder on hand, so you can look it up. There's lots of information about coccidiosis. Okay, I'm going to shake it up. And this is going to be their only source of water for 5 days. Drink up, girls, and get to feeling better, and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. One thing that I wondered about, question I had about coccidiosis that you might have too, is can rabbits get this? What if my rabbits are like above my chickens? If I have them in a tunnel together or whatnot. Yes, rabbits can get coccidiosis, but it's a different form of coccidiosis, so you don't need to worry about that. Dogs, different form. Horses, different form. So for each animal, there's a different form of the parasite that affects them. If you guys have any questions about coccidiosis, please leave it in the comments and I will address it for sure. And then also search on the internet. There's lots about it. You can read to your heart's content on this condition. Alright, that's all about coccidiosis. That's all I know anyway. Good luck. I thought of a question that I had that you might have. Can we eat eggs when they're being treated? Yes, you can. The medication, Corid, is actually disables the absorption of a B vitamin. And the parasite happens to need this B vitamin to continue to reproduce and thrive. So if you're just restricting it from this vitamin, so your eggs might not be as nutritious, I don't know, but they're safe to eat for you. And it's not like it's an antibiotic or a poison. It's restricting that B vitamin from being absorbed by the parasite. I have noticed that the eggs get a little bit thinner, like the shells get thinner while they're on treatment. Maybe that, I don't know whether that's been coincidence or not, but you tell me, have you noticed that? Anyway, leave any questions that you have and I'll try to answer them. So I treat my chickens in the spring after the wet weather and in the fall. And this chicken in particular seems to be my first signal for it. She seems to be really susceptible to it. Some chickens tend to be not as susceptible to it, and I have heard the theory that if you raise chickens on the barnyard, that they are not susceptible to it, that they have an immunity against it, but I don't know whether that's true or not. Let me know if you think that is true. Good morning, girls. Scratching around in the leaves of the compost. I will be doing my small step tonight when it's cool, because I have my baby today, so I'll be emptying this into this hot mess. So I need to clean it out and empty it out. But it does have one little blessing in it. Some sweet potatoes that were obviously left there from last year. So you'll see what I'm gonna do with those. Unfortunately, my sweet potatoes are not doing very well. Well, with one exception, this one is getting roots and it is obviously gonna sprout some stuff. Yes, victory. This one is molding at the bottom, but also getting some roots, so we'll see. I need to put some more water in that. These two are just straight up rotting with like gnats. I don't know, you probably can't see those, but disgusting. So those are going right now. So it looks like we're gonna have purple potatoes. This one's a purple variety, and this is purple Stokes. So it looks like we're gonna have a purple Thanksgiving again. All right, I added some water, put in some fresh water. It will be remarkable how fast these little sprouts will start coming up and be plants that are ready to plant in just a matter of days. So we'll watch for that. But in the meantime, I'm so impatient, so I'm gonna cheat a little. I'm gonna cut off some of these little sprouts. And see if I can get them to root. We'll see what happens. Now these are probably the purple variety also, purple Stokes, because they did really super well last year. And it was actually really funny. We had them for our Thanksgiving feast with other roasted vegetables, and they turned the chicken purple. It was just a purple Thanksgiving. It was really funny. We loved it. Okay, this should make plenty of sweet potato plants for my potato pit and my neighbor, my friend, my gardening friend. So yes, and it'll be a happy surprise whether they're purple or not. This path is a little bit harder for me to get to. I should have probably parked the truck in back. Anyway, I'm just gonna try to empty it this way because I don't have much. All right, can you help me, Eli? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes! You guys, I got my small step done. Yes, all ready for my sweet potatoes to begin sprouting and growing, except for these that I have from last year. Awesome. Okay, you guys, what's your small step? What's your small step for tomorrow? Let's do this.